record. I'm going to give you the magic words that you can use in conversations that will turn your conversations into impactful, intentional conversations. So if you're new here to these runners training calls, my name is Ruth. It says Ruth Song. I was recently married, so it's now Ruth Folkema. I am pregnant with my first baby. I've been in the business for a little over a year, and I think I'm pretty awesome and hilarious. So if you think so too, send me a thumbs up reaction. And let's get started. So basically, I'm going to go through a list of words or phrases that are going to help you throughout your conversations. Okay, so pay really good attention. And if you can, please take notes because I'm seriously about to blow your mind. Okay. All right. So the first phrase I would say is, I'm not sure if it's for you, but. Okay, and keep in mind, everything that I teach you today is not only applicable in sales and marketing or business. This is applicable in your everyday relationships, in your everyday conversations, when you're talking to your boss, etc. So this phrase, I'm not sure if it's for you, but is a great phrase to introduce anything at any time, right? It causes your subconscious to think that there's no pressure for what's about to come. And that's because the word but negates everything that you just said before it, right? But is a word that I actually personally hate. For example, if my brother-in-law says, I am so sorry, Ruth, that I pushed you, but it wasn't my fault. What part of that sentence do you think I'm focused on? Everything after the word but. Everything that came before the but, I don't even remember. Like, I can't even acknowledge that he apologized to me, right? So it's the same thing, except we're taking that concept and turning it into our own positive power, right? So I'm not sure it's for you allows for the person you're talking to let down their guard, right? They're able to think to themselves, okay, there's no pressure. But when you say the word but, then they're listening to everything you have to say after that. Super cool, right? So it's basically this sentence, this phrase is an objection-free approach that you can use to approach anyone at any time with anything that you have on your mind. Okay. And the worst case scenario when you're using this phrase is that someone would say that they need time to think about what you just told them. But mostly they're going to consider what you're saying. Actually, this is a good point to bring up something that I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this concept, but I'm going to draw this for you and hopefully you can see it. Can you guys see this little loopy line? Okay, cool. So over on this left side, I'm going to draw a sad face, neutral face, and a happy face. Okay, can you see these faces? All right. So 80%, 10%, 10%. Okay. So this is the world. I know it doesn't look like the world, but it's the world, okay? It's everyone in the whole world. 10% of the people that you come across are going to be so negative. They're the type of people that if you bring them an opportunity that anybody would jump say yes to, they are the ones, the weirdos that would say no to you. Okay. They're the ones that say no to you every time you ask them to hang out with you. I've got these friends, I called them, I said, hey, I've got 2 free tickets to Cirque du Soleil. These tickets are on me. You just need to show up and, hang out with me. Oh no, I can't do that. They're the people who will always say no. They're the negative people. They're the ones that we call negative Nancy's. They're probably the ones we call Karen. Okay. They're just the people that, you realize that they're the negative 10% and you immediately walk away. Okay. You disengage immediately. Those are not the people you want to talk to. The other 10% of the world are really happy, positive people. They are the people that are super yeses for everything. They will support you no matter what. You ask them to hang out with you. They don't care what they don't even know what you're doing yet. And they say yes already, They don't know if you're going to go to a rodeo and, help volunteer to pick up the cow poop, or if you're going to go to a dine-in theater with them. They don't know, but they already say yes. That's the other 10% of the world, okay? However, most people are in this little guy right here, the 80%, okay? Most people are there. And so when, in this industry, you have to remember that most people are in the 80%. So what does that mean? That means our job is to have the proper conversations, these impactful conversations I'm teaching you. And it's your job to help people to decide whether they will, they're on the fence, right? It's your job to help them to be a yes or a no, okay? So let me go back to what I was talking about. I got a little off track, but that's important for you to know and remember for the rest of your life, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, the worst case scenario is that in response to, I'm not sure if it's for you, but they say they need time to think about it. That's okay, that's going to be a rare situation. And even rarer will be people who are super negative in response to that phrase to you. And you have to remember, oh, that person, they are Karen. They are the negative 10% of this world. I don't need to waste my time, my energy, my thought, my heart, and my soul on this human being. Okay. You will never change them. Probably God placed them on the earth to show you the huge difference in, that you're amazing. And this Karen is just, it's a Karen. So probably God put the Karen there to make you feel even better about yourself. Okay, so part 2 is, or phrase 2, I guess, is how open-minded are you? Or open-mindedness is the next topic, okay? So I am telling you, when you ask someone if they are open-minded, probably 99.99% of the time, the person you ask will say, yes, I am open-minded. If I ask every single one of you here, I'm guaranteed that all of you will tell me, yes, Ruth, I am open-minded. Just for the sole fact that you're here trying to learn with me right now. But everybody, even if they're not, even if they're not open-minded, they want to claim that they really are open-minded. Okay, so an example of how you would approach this conversation using the words open-minded would be, how open-minded are you about increasing your monthly income? What do you think somebody would say? Oh, I'm very open-minded. They will fight you to prove to you that they are open-minded. Another example would be, would you be open-minded about seeing if we could work together? Oh, I'm a very open-minded person, Ruth. Of course. This phrase makes it difficult for people to reject your ideas, right? at the very least, they have to consider what you're saying. Why? Because they need to prove to you that they're open-minded. Incredible, right? And so this makes them feel obligated to explore the possibility that you are handing to them. Okay? So, remember, start your conversations or before you get into this proposal that you bring to someone, how open-minded are you? How open-minded are you guys to try this method? All right. The third phrase is, what do you know? Okay. This is really incredible. If you know somebody who is very argumentative, if you know somebody that when you bring up your politics to them, instead of them being open-minded and ready to learn a different perspective, they just go, no, you're wrong. You are wrong. And this is why you're wrong. And since you believe this, you're just a terrible human being. If you know anybody like that, then this is a great method for you to use in your conversations. So here's the thing. When you encounter somebody who feels as if they are very certain about something, right? Let's go back to, my brother-in-law, he apologized, but he said, but, right? So he's certain, Ruth, I already apologized to you. Then I need to change his mind from certainly I apologize to Ruth to putting doubt in his mind. Well, maybe I didn't actually apologize to her. So, and stay with me here. So what you want to do is get them to admit their opinion was based on insufficient evidence. So in this scenario with my brother-in-law, I should say, oh, not right now, mommy. Okay. I should say, Will Austin, oh, I shouldn't have said his name. I should say, what do you know about apologies? He'll start to think, what do I know about apologies? Do I even know anything about apologies? Was I even taught about apologies? Have I ever read a book about an apology? And he'll start to question himself, question the very fact that he was very certain that he apologized to me, right? So an example, a better example than this silly one that I came up with is, what do you know about us, our business, and the way we do things differently, right? Probably you would use that in response to people who think they know everything about everything that we do, right? They already have made the decision that this isn't, this is just not it. This is not for them, or this is not the career path to take. Okay, well, what do you know about it? What do you know about my business? What do you know about Monet and how we do things differently here, right? Another example would be, what do you think about the way, or what do you know about the way things have changed since blank? What do you know about the way things have changed since we launched the wellness line? What do you know about the way things have changed since 2007? You can use a date, right? You can use a date, you can use an event that happened, maybe like, right, since the pandemic. What do you know about the way things have changed since the pandemic? Perfect. That's incredible. That's a great one, Barbara. Another example would be, what do you know about how things really work here? What do you know about the benefits of Total Greens? What do you know about the benefits of the Intense Repair line, our hair care, right? probably they don't know, right? So they have to reevaluate. Oh, actually, my opinion is based on insufficient evidence. I don't actually know anything about your company. I actually don't know anything about your products, right? And so they have to question themselves. This makes them more receptive to change, right? We're bringing their minds from complete certainty to doubt. And again, the worst that could happen when using this method with someone in a conversation is that you learn the exact reason for their argument, right? You get to the core of why they said that in the first place. And that's very valuable information for you. Okay, so this next one, I need a drink, is how would you feel if? Okay, this is super cool, you guys, because I'm a very emotional person. And I think God blessed me to be very emotional, very sensitive for a reason. Because, you know, I think people with bigger hearts are pretty cool. So this is really awesome to me that it brings feelings into it. I love feelings, okay? So when using this phrase, you need to think about how you're going to find how people are motivated. And this is the two ways that people are motivated, okay? Either by avoiding loss or by acquiring potential growth. So what does that mean? What are you saying, Ruth? That sounds like mumbo jumbo. Basically, people are either going to run away from something bad or they're going to move towards something good, right? Do you agree with me? Yes. So that theory, right, is that whatever we're saying to someone, we want to create a big enough gap from the bad thing and the good thing that they're like, oh, okay, I need to jump into this decision so that I'm not anywhere near this bad thing. And I really want to be near this good thing. Okay. And so people base their decisions based on feeling and logic. But the most important and the first thing that helps them to make a decision is their feelings. All right. Have you ever walked away from a conversation and somebody just, you know, they didn't, you walk away from the conversation and you think to yourself, wow, what? I don't understand how that person came to this conclusion. Like the logic is here, you know, 1 + 1 = 2. It doesn't make any sense why they would have gone a completely different route, right? It's because even though the logic is there, you guys, the feeling was not there. They didn't feel like it was the right decision, okay? It doesn't matter how logical it was, their feelings come first. Mind blowing. That's incredible. So remember that people make their decisions based on how they feel, right? This allows us to help them visualize a feeling, right? So an example of this would be, how would you feel if this decision led to your promotion, right? Maybe you're talking to a market partner. How would you feel if your competition passed you? That would be an example of showing them how they would need to run away from this bad thing, right? I don't want my competition to pass me up. Another example, how would you feel if you lost everything? That is an example of showing them, right, the bad thing that they want to run away from. And that's just saying that sentence made my heart drop. Oh, losing everything? Oof, I can't even say it anymore. That's terrible, right? Another one is, How would you feel if this time next year you were debt-free, living in your dream home and planning your next vacation? Did you just picture everything I just said, right? How would you feel if this time next year, I'm picturing it, you were debt-free, you were living in your dream home. Right now, I see my dream home as soon as I say that sentence, and planning your next vacation. Wow. I literally in my brain clearly see myself on the beach sipping a pina colada. So it's really powerful. It's super powerful to use. How would you feel if, right? You're drawing in these people's emotions out to help them make a decision. And so again, these phrases are going to help you move them towards the good news or away from the bad news. Okay. And the bigger the difference, the bigger the space between the good news and the bad news that you help them visualize, that you help them feel, the stronger your power in helping them to come to that decision that you want them to come to, right? Okay, this is the last one, and then I'm gonna let you guys ask me any questions you have or any comments you have. So just imagine. This is very similar to the last one. The last one we talked about feelings. Just imagine comes from visualization, painting a picture for someone. So think about this. Have you guys ever said or had someone say, I just couldn't see myself doing that, right? Here's the thing. People do things at least twice, a minimum of 2 times for anything that they do. Why? Because they think about doing it, then they do it, right? They imagine themselves doing it, and then they do it. So if this person cannot imagine themselves doing it, then they're not going to do it. When you go and when you wash your dishes, you imagine yourself first washing the dishes. When you think about getting up from your seat and walking over there to the other side of the room, you think about it in your head first. Isn't that crazy? Have you ever thought of that? It always pops up in your head first as a visualization before you actually do the thing. Okay? So that's why painting the picture is so important. Because these people are not going to do what you want them to do unless you first get them to imagine it, right? Have you ever seen SpongeBob? Imagination. This is super cool, you guys. I'm giving you a superpower. So, yeah, I already said that. If you can't see yourself doing something, the chances of you doing it are slim to none, okay? People make decisions based on the images that they see in their minds. And they create those pictures in their mind with stories. So it's important that you approach these conversations with storytelling, right? We've heard that before. Be good at storytelling. And that's because, again, the mind is super powerful. You imagine them doing something, you get someone to imagine themselves doing something, and boom, they're going to do it, right? Why do we talk about visualizing yourself picking up your Cadillac? Because if you don't first imagine yourself doing it, you're never going to do it. You're never even going to try. It's super important, right? So an example of this would be, just imagine how things will be in 6 months' time once you've implemented this thing. Just imagine the look on your kids' faces when they see you achieve this thing. Oof. Just imagine the impact this thing could have, right? Just imagine you're getting the email saying, here's your free trip to Miami to New Leadership Experience. Just imagine that you get the email that says, here's your free trip to the freaking Bahamas. Right? You have to visualize it first. How many people in the world can you think of that didn't believe or didn't visualize themselves being successful and then just became successful? No one. First, they had to think about themselves being successful. Then they could get to being successful, okay? So there's so many more phrases that I can teach you guys. There's so many cool things that I want to teach you about your brain and other people's brains. But I'm a cheapskate and I only have 40 minutes in this Zoom call. So I'm now going to leave it open for questions, and then hopefully this is a teaser. It's like I gave you a little bit and you're like, ooh, that's tasty. And so you come back and you watch me train you a little more in the following weeks, okay? So any questions, please? I'm gonna stop the recording.